Hey everybody, welcome back to my kitchen where we make quick and easy delicious southern recipes. Today we are going to be making a po' boy. And in South Mississippi here, you cannot go into any restaurant without seeing three things. The first is gumbo, the second is shrimp of any variety, and the third is a po' boy sandwich. Now a po' boy sandwich is usually a foot long. It's on French bread, and it has any manner of fried seafood, fried oysters, fried shrimp, crab cakes, anything fried. But they also do a version where they have roast beef and gravy, and that's the one we're going to do today. You dress it with lettuce and tomatoes and mayonnaise and onions, whatever you want to, usually a pickle, and we'll do that too, but right now, I'm going to start with cooking the meat. I've got a chuck roast here, weighs about 3 pounds, and I've already put salt and pepper and garlic and some Tony Chachere's seasoning, and you cannot live on the Gulf Coast of Mississippi without knowing about this stuff. It is a wonderful seasoning. It goes great on pork. Oh gosh, it's really good on pork. It goes great on chicken. It goes on anything. But anyhow, what we're going to do first is we're going to sear both sides of this to keep the juices in this roast. And then we're going to put it in the oven on 325. And I've prepared this roasting pan here with a bed of onions in the bottom so that the roast doesn't sit right down on the bottom. That's the only reason I've got them in there. Of course, they'll add a little flavor too. And we're okay with that. Alright, so I'm going to just stick him in there and let it get hot. Now y'all, I'm counting on y'all to go ahead and subscribe to my channel. And don't forget to click that little notification bell next to the subscribe button so you don't ever miss a video whenever I put one out. Let me move this out of the way. That way you can see the roast better. Not quite. It takes a couple of minutes. Y'all, I've been eating pickled beets all day. These things are so good. You see how we got it browned on the top? I don't know if you can see it or not. There. That's good and brown. I done just about gone through a whole can of pickled beets. I must need the salt or something. I don't know. Haven't had any in years, and I saw some at the store the other day, and I said, wow, I think I need some of that. I think this roast is browned enough. So let's just pick her up and stick her over here in this pot. I'm going to take a cup of water here, right here, and I'm going to put about a teaspoon of this Better Than Bouillon beef broth base and stir it up real good and pour it in the bottom of this roasting pan so that it doesn't dry out too much. Okay, let's pour that in there. Now you don't want a whole lot, just enough to cover the bottom of the pan. Now I'm going to put the lid on her and put her in my preheated oven. And when I come back, I'm going to show you how to put together this sandwich and make the gravy for it. It's been 3 hours since we put the roast in the oven. It took about 2.5 hours for it to cook. So I took it out of the oven and I sliced it really thin. And now I've got it in this pan, just keeping it warm. The next thing we're going to do is make our gravy. To do that, we're going to use 2 cups of the pan drippings, including all the grease that was in there. The grease should come out to about 2 or 3 tablespoons, which is what it looks like. We're going to turn that on about medium. And while it's heating up, we are going to use a 1/4 cup of water and 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. In this bowl. And we're going to stir it up till there's no lumps in it at all. Which is not a hard thing to do. It just, sometimes it takes a minute. As we can take the bread out of the bag. Now we're going to take this bread and slice it about halfway, but not all the way through. There. I'm going to spread some mayonnaise across there. And part of our family likes mustard and the other part doesn't. So I'm only going to do half mustard. Now our pan drippings are boiling. We're going to stir that good one more time, the cornstarch and water mixture. And then we're going to pour it in there. And we're going to stir. We're going to stir until it's finished. If you don't continue to stir gravy, you're going to get lumps. And you don't want lumps in gravy. Now that the gravy's finished, I'm going to turn it down on low. And we're going to start putting this sandwich together. So now we're going to take our sliced beef and we're going to pile it on this sandwich. And we're just going to pour that gravy all over that beef. And make it just as messy as you can make it. Because if it's not dripping out of the bread when you're eating it, then it's not a po' boy. Next we're going to take some lettuce. A little bit of onion. I'm going to do the onion on half because the kids won't eat it. And we're going to put, let's do tomatoes. Dogs will get that. And a handful of pickles. Maybe. And I want you to look at this masterpiece right here. Now, folks, leave me a comment below and tell me if you want to make one of these for dinner. Because, boy, doesn't that look good. Y'all have a good evening, and I'll see you again real soon.